I just got a weird chill up and down my spine. I don't know about you. Do you believe in reincarnation? You probably laugh at me when I tell you these things, but every now and then I'll be sitting here just talking about, like the weather or, talking about the tidal basin, and suddenly, poof, I get a vision of another time I lived long, long ago. A time when I was in the Holy Roman Empire. I was in charge. I was the HNIC. And I was married, yes, I'm seeing it. I was married to Sleaze Baggius. And my best friends were Testicules and Omnotius. But I remember, wait a minute, I see pain. I see pain. I see my son less than a man. I see my son spindly. I see my son romped on by the other children. Dildonius. My doctor didn't know what to do. Vaginitis. The head nurse had no idea. My son's name was Asolius. And Asolius never really turned out the way I had hoped. And frankly, I was afraid to have another child for fear I'd have another Asolius. And yet, whenever I went far and wide in the land, the two people that carried me, my slaves and servant, Indiginatus and her husband, Leroyacles, were so powerful, and their children were so strapping, rippling with muscle, of healthy cover. You see, my son, Asolius, was pale and pasty, and the children of Leroyacles and Indiginatus were pecan, robust, and powerful. One day, so that I shouldn't be seen talking to the servants, I joined them in their quarters. I joined Indiginatus and Leroyacles. I said, I must watch you. I must watch you produce a child so that I can see what I'm doing wrong. And sure enough, he said, your wish, sire, is my command. And I watched the whole procedure. I watched, and my God, but Leroyacles was a man. An unbelievable endowment. Indiginatus screamed. And I shook my head in envy and disbelief. Finally he said, maybe we should watch you, sire. Maybe we should watch you so we can decide what it is you're doing wrong. Why you produce these spindly children instead of like me and Indiginatus, strapping bucks to carry on proudly the duties of the kingdom. I said, all right, then come with me. We took me towed upstairs late at night. Sleaze Baggius, I awoke my wife. Sleaze Baggius, we must, at this moment. Abatuki. She said, was Leroyacles and Indiginatus watching? I said, yes, it's important. And so, feeling rather humiliated by the difference between Leroyacles and my humble endowment, I began through the whole procedure. Indiginatus and Leroyacles just looked at me, shaking their heads in shame. Finally, they got down on their knees and watched the target area. Eventually, achieving a pathetic Shangri-La, I looked at them, I said, well? They whispered a second, and Leroyacles said, I think we figured out your problem, sire. I said, what is it? My God, man, what is it? He said, you're letting in too much light.